Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how to tie a cheaper take on the Takedown Rig. It's pretty much just a blinged out Santee rig. What you're going to use for it, some beads and some rattles. You're going to want a barrel swivel. I like to use an octopus hook, size 7/0 or 8/0. These are 7s because I don't have 8 available right now. You're going to need a float. These are just knockoff spooks off Amazon. And your choice of leader line. So let's get started. I think we're going to go ahead and use this black one. For some reason I'm liking that guy today. So we'll set this other stuff aside. Now you can start by snelling the hook first, then cutting your leaders as long as you want, and then adding everything. But I like to start by putting your float on first. Tag in is where your snelled hook's going to be, or at least I like snelling them. You can use pretty much any knot you want. But your eyeballs you want facing towards where your hook's going to be. And you're just going to pretty much weave this on. So in one way at the end first, opposite way in the middle, and then opposite of that at the front. And that's just going to let it slide right along. So go ahead and pull that down your line, set it aside. Then you're going to start with a bead, followed by a rattle, followed by another bead, followed by one last rattle, and then finally one last bead. And you can always use bigger or smaller beads, whatever. Bigger rattles, smaller rattles. The next thing you're going to want to do is tie your hook on. Again, I like to snell these hooks, but you can tie them pretty much any way you want. To snail them, what I do is grab your tag end, put it through the front of the hook. Remember, the front of the hook's always going to be where the shank's at. I call that a shank, I don't know. Anyways, create yourself, well, make sure you get some tag in first. Create yourself a loop and just pinch that off for now. And then you're going to get that tag in and you're going to wrap around, I guess this is the shank now that we're talking about it. I do about 8 times. And remember, you created that loop. You'll come back through that loop with the tag end. Hold everything nice and tight and pull your leader line, which will then create a nice little snell knot. Again, you don't have to snail them, but with these hooks, that's just my preference. Pull it down nice and tight, pull the tag end a little bit, and there you got a nice snelled catfish hook ready to go. We're going to cut that tag end off. I need some new scissors. And And there's your snelled hook. That guy ain't going nowhere. So now what you've got on the end of your spool here, and the reason I keep it on the spool is to kind of determine how long I want to do it. But what you're going to have is your snelled hook, bead, rattle, bead, rattle, bead, and then your float or your knockoff spook. You're going to grab a barrel swivel. I just use these cheaper Eagle Claws. Again, you can go fancy. Determine about how long you want it. I'm thinking about like that. I don't use them too long in this situation just because the area I'm fishing isn't too deep. Cut her off, and then I'll just use a clinch knot on the end here. It's not the improved clinch knot or anything, it's just a clinch knot, holds up just fine for what I need. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have got yourself your own takedown rig, or blinged out Santee rig. We're going to go ahead and take this tag in, cut that as well. And then what you do with your main line is you could either run one of these sinker slides and put a sinker on your main line that way, or you can run a slip weight, no roll weight, whatever you know your preference is. What I always like to do is after I put my weight on, especially if it's a sliding weight, I'll put a bead on it. That way it's not going to beat up that knot. And there you go.